Hi. Well, a few years ago, somebody showed me how to make these beautiful Ukrainian Easter eggs. And I'd love to show you how to do it. You don't need many supplies. I get my supplies from the Ukrainian gift shop. They couldn't be nicer there. And the process is really fairly simple. So I'm going to show you how I made some of these. Well, I am working on two different eggs here. So this is my first egg, and I switch back and forth from one egg to another just because it makes it a little bit easier. Instead of waiting for one egg to dry, I just start working on a second egg while the first egg is drying. I always suggest that people do two at a time, but of course, if you want to do one, why not? You just have to let it dry in between the wax application. Basically, the best eggs are the ones that get covered with the most wax. So here's the first dipping. I'm dipping it into the yellow. And while that is drying, I'm going to start on my second egg. Well, one of my favorite things to do is to add these little knobbies onto the lines. Anything I'm covering right now with the wax will stay white. So anything that is a black line right now will end up in the end being white. My second favorite thing to add is a curly Q. I love a curly Q. The more curly Qs, the better. So still working on that second egg and just adding as many lines as I can. I really make it up as I go along. I don't have a plan at all, so that's the best way for me. And I'm back to the knobbies. I love those. I love the way they look. So once again, everything here will be white. Now, this is my second egg, and I'm dipping it into the pink. Look at that gorgeous color. Okay, now I'm back working on my first egg. Now, anything I'm coloring in now is going to stay yellow. Now, there's going to be a quiz on this later on, so I hope you're paying attention. So, once again, I'm adding as many lines as I possibly can, just because the more wax I put on it, the better it will look. I am planning to dip this into several other colors, so I don't want to cover the whole thing, but I do want to put quite a bit of wax on there before I dip it. All right, so I'm dipping it into my next color, turquoise. And while that's drying, I picked up my second egg. See how great that works? And I'm working on my second one. Now anything I'm coloring in with a wax will stay pink. Now I love this pink, so I'm going to put a few designs. Oh, back to the curly Q. A few designs on there to make sure I get plenty of pink on this egg, on the finished egg. Finishing up those curly Qs. Just love that design. And I'm dipping it into the red. I love the pink with a red. It looks so great. So once I take that out, I want to let that dry. And here we are back to my first egg. And now anyone that's been paying attention, you know that whatever I'm coloring in now is going to stay green. So similar to batik, honestly, I've never done batik, but it is similar to the batiking process. So it's very meditative, I think, just, putting down these designs, it's really fun to do. So still adding to the green, and as I said, the more wax you put on it, the better it is. So I'm still planning to dip this into at least 2 colors. So I want to leave some green space showing since that will turn into another color. But I do want quite a bit of that green because I love that color. So just finishing up the green, and I'm putting it into the blue. And not much difference between the blue and the green, but it will show up in the end. So back to my second egg, and I'm filling in a whole lot of space because I love the pink with the red, so I want there to be quite a bit of red. So filling in all this space around my design, and that will all stay red. So just about done there. Ooh, purple. Dipping it into the purple. Love purple. Love it, love it, love it. Back to my first egg, and whatever I'm coloring in now is going to stay green. So I'm doing all of that space in between those leaves, and that will all stay that really pretty blue-green color. Can't wait to see it finished. So I'm finishing up filling in this background, and although I'm not going to show it, I do end up dipping this egg into the purple, and it will make those little flowers purple. So I'm back to my second egg here, and I am filling in those heart shapes with wax because I'd like those to stay purple. And as I said, the more wax you put on it, the better it looks. And if you've never done it before, it's really hard to imagine what it looks like. In the end, what you do is you put that in the oven or toaster oven on 200 degrees for 10 minutes, and it melts all the wax. And then you see all of the beautiful colors come out. So I dipped that into the blue, and I'm going to cover up some of that blue so that we keep that color. And then after that, I'm going to dip it into the yellow, I think, because I'd like to try to get a chartreusey kind of a green color. So here I am finishing up filling in whatever I want to fill in with the wax. And then I'm going to dip it into the yellow. Now, a lot of times, here it goes in the yellow. It's funny, the the dye comes right off when you dip it in. Isn't that funny? See the yellow on there? Isn't that funny? So I'm covering up the yellow too. A lot of times I like to dip it into the black at the end because there's usually only just a few spots here and there that are not covered with wax, and the black makes it look really kind of like a, I don't know, like a, I don't know even how to describe it, just, it's just beautiful. So here they are, and here they are after I put them in the toaster oven. Aren't they gorgeous? They come out nice, don't they? I think they do. I just wanted to show you the supplies. There's hardly anything. I don't get a kit just because I don't really need everything in the kit. So the only thing I buy are these beeswax sticks. These are the tools. I think it's called a kitski. The red ones are a wider line, and the blue ones make a finer line. I don't get the really fine one. The wax, you break off into little pieces and you put it right inside the reservoir there. Then you hold it over a candle to melt it, and then you just write with it like you would a pencil. I mix up the dyes in these mason jars and I write the color on the front. I reuse these jars every year. Sometimes I save the dyes, sometimes I get new ones. Usually I just get new ones, it's just easier. So those are all the supplies that you need, and I have a strange way of emptying out the eggs. I believe that they sell a tool for that. I actually poke a hole in the bottom of the egg with an X-Acto knife very carefully, and then I carefully turn the blade until the hole gets a little bit bigger, and then I use a tool that's actually used for pottery, for painting fine lines. It's a bottle that has like a syringe on the end of it, and I stick that inside the egg and I gently press it, and when the air goes in there, it pushes the egg out. I'm making it sound really easy. It takes a little bit of time. That's how I do it. You could just Google how do you get the egg out, egg out of the shell. And I'm sure there's a lot of creative ways that you could do it. So I just wanted to share that. I think they came out really nice. I love doing them every year. I do it with my family and friends, and I'm very grateful to the person who showed me how to do it. I hope you'll try it.